All right. Today we're going to be talking about median and mode. So, a little story here. Earlier in the school year, Melanie and Amir had the exact same scores on 5 weekly math quizzes. Their scores out of 10 were 8, 9, 4, 5, and 9. Their teacher asked them to report on a single score that best summarizes their progress in math. Assume this is Amir. He's saying, well, the middle score of 8 is the best score to use. This means my math grade so far should be 8 out of 10 or 80%. And Melanie says, well, the most common score of 9 is the best score to use. That means my math grade so far should be 9 out of 10 or 90%. Who is right? Well, I can actually say that in a way they both are, but we'll get to that. It really depends on how you measure central tendency. So key term here, measure of central tendency. And this is basically just a value that represents the center of a set of data. So please feel free to make sure you pause this. Make sure you get that down, and then you can move on to median. Now, median, simply put, is the middle number in a set of data after it is arranged in order. Right? Obviously, I could mess it up in some weird way and say, well, look, there the middle one is, and just play with it. But no, it's going to be the middle number in a set of data is the median, assuming that it has been arranged in order. And then finally, that brings us to the mode. And, oops, there we go. The mode in a data set is the most commonly or most frequently occurring number. And in fact, just to, be fun, we could actually have a set of data that might have 2 or 3 modes. And then we get, if it's got 2 modes, just like a bicycle has 2 wheels, we'd say it's bimodal. And if it had 3, like a tricycle has 3 wheels, would be trimodal. Usually beyond that, we don't really worry about it. Obviously, you cannot take the mode of a data set that has no repeated numbers, right? So if I give you a data set of 1, 2, and 3, well, the middle number, the median, would be 2. It has no mode because none of the numbers are repeated. Right? So let's take a look at how we would do this. How are we going to determine the mode and the median? 1 month. The Edmonton Oilers won 7 out of 10 games. This must have been a good month. Sorry. There goes my prejudice against the Edmonton Oilers. That's okay. Anyways, as a team, they scored the following number of goals in these 10 games. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 5, 3, 3, 7, and 3. What is the mode for the number of goals scored? So, in order to calculate the mode, arrange the numbers in increasing order. The mode is the most frequently occurring number in the list. Why do I need to worry about arranging them in increasing order? Obviously, I could look at this and say, well, there is, the 5 shows up twice, the 3 shows up lots. The reason I arrange them in order is to make sure I don't miss anything, number 1, and number 2, you're going to also usually have to calculate the median, and that one they need to be in order. So let's take a look. We're going to put these in order. So as I write them down in order, I'm going to cross them off at the top. So we're going to start with 1. Cross it off. Any more ones? Nope, there's not. So we put a comma. Might not look like a comma, but it now looks like a 7 or a, who knows. 1, comma. 2 is next. Alright, lovely. I now have 1, 2, 3, 4 threes. So I have to write all of them. 1, comma, 2, comma, 3, 3, 3, 3. What this should tell me already is I'm like, okay, yeah, the mode is going to be 3, but that's okay, we'll get there. We got to write them all in order first. 4, so I had 1, 4, and then I've got 2 5s. And 5, and no 6s, and that leads us to a, it's not a pretty 7, but we'll pretend it's a good 7. Alright, what is my mode? Mode is the most frequently occurring number in the list. My mode is 3. Alright. What is the median number of goals scored? Well, the median is going to be the middle number. So what we can do to figure that out is actually I take my list now and I'm going to start just crossing off the end numbers. So end ones crossed off, end ones crossed off, end ones crossed off. I keep going until I'm left with either 1 or 2 numbers. Oh, got 2 left. Now in this case, this is going to mean my median is also 3. And that's okay that they're the same. Doesn't have to be, but they can be. If these numbers were not the same, then my median would be the number in the middle of these 2 numbers. Now, obviously, the middle of 3 and 3 is simply 3. But if my middle 2 numbers were not the same, my median then would be in the middle of those ones. All right. So let's keep going. And as it says here, if 1 number remains, that's the median value. If 2 numbers remain, you must find the value halfway between them. Okay. So let's find the mode and median for each of these sets of values. So I want you to pause this video right now and actually go ahead and do that. Okay, so I'm serious. Pause it. Do it now. I will show you the answers, but you need to pause it. All of you. Yeah. Go ahead and do it. Pause it. Let's go. Alright. So let's take a quick peek here. We're going to arrange them first in order. So for A, I've got 2, 4, 4, 6, and 9. And if I look there, my mode is going to be 4. Check your answers off that way. My median will also be 4 because that is the middle number. Right? I can go through and cross off if you want, but I think you can probably see in a set of 5 numbers, it's pretty easy to figure out which is the middle number. It's a 4. All right. When I get to B, in order, we've got 5, 8, 10, 11, and 11. All right. My mode is 11. My median is 10. All right. Moving on. Next one here. This one you got to be a little bit careful with because there is a lot of 5s. I can see right away that is what the mode is. But let's write the mode in order like we're supposed to. 4, 5, 5, 5, and 5. And then we've got a 7 and an 8 and another 8. All right. So I can see pretty quickly, yes, my mode is 5. And let's start crossing out. And my median is going to be halfway between 5 and 5, which is indeed 5. All right, that takes us on to the very last one here. All right, so we've got 6 and another 6 and an 8 and a 10 and a 12 and a 14 and another 14. All right, so if we look at that, what we are going to see is this is a data set that has, this is why I should be crossing them out. I notice now that I have another 10 in here, so let's add that. So 2 14s, 2 10s, a 12, an 8, and 2 6s. So it actually has 3 modes. It is a trimodal data set. The mode of 6, of 10, and of 14. And then when I start looking for a median, I'm just going to cross them off from the outside in. Alright, and my median is going to be 10. So mode of 6, 10, and 14, and a median of 10. Right, let's move on. We've got a bit of a frequency table here showing the hourly wages of employees at a recycling depot. So hourly wages of 8, there's 3 employees with that. Of $10 an hour, 2 employees there. $11 an hour, 3 employees. And 14, we've got 2 employees. So what is the mode for the hourly wages? Well, if I look at these here, I could rewrite them, and that's totally valid if you want to rewrite them there. But the other way that we can do this is we can simply look at this and just use the frequency table. Okay, so in this case, there is 2 modes. I've got one at 8, so there's 3 people there, and another one at 11. So mode, there's 2 of them, equals 8 and 11. Not 8 plus 11. Do not write 8 plus 11. That is wrong. Then you're saying it's 19. 8, comma 11. That's okay. That is actually a comma. Perhaps the comma is not okay, but anyways. Finding the median, if I was asked to do that from this one here, little bit trickier. All right. Oops. Here it's probably going to be easiest to actually write them out in order. Okay. The other way to look at it is to say, okay, well, I've got, let's see how we could say I'm going to show you how to write it out in order. I'll do that first. But we could also say, well, there are 5 people, 3 plus 2, at either 8 or 10, and 5 people at 11 or 14, which means the median has to be halfway between 10 and 11. So the median should be $10.50. But let's actually go through and double check that. So we'll write them out in order. Okay, so we've got 3 8s. So 8, let's actually write them out in order. 8, 8, comma, 8, comma, 2 10s, 10, comma, 10, comma, 11, comma, 11, comma, 11, comma, 14, comma, 14. Lovely. So let's look at the median. Okay, so 8, 14 go away. Right, we're just crossing out to figure out which one's in the middle. 10 and 11 are in the middle. And so we got to figure out what's halfway between 10 and 11. Well, it's going to be $10.50. If we weren't sure, I suppose we could like add the two numbers up and divide by 2. Right, that would work. But usually they're not going to be too silly like that. Ooh, that's a lovely 5. So the median is $10.50 per hour. All right. How would the mode and median be affected if one employee gets a raise from $10 per hour to $11 per hour? Let's take a peek. So we're just going to change our frequency table to start with. So one of these guys, there's now only one left at $10 per hour. One of them gets to go to 11. So now we got 4 here. Well, what happens to the mode? Well, the mode, we don't have 2 modes anymore, right? We used to have 8 and 11. Now we just have 1, and that's 11. Additionally, if we start looking here, I think we can pretty easily, hopefully, see that our median is also going to be 11. Because when we write them out, and I will write them out again. Okay, so, come on. Okay, my median, oops, come back here. Okay, so this is what we had before, right? Here's my list of wages. All right, no, not for D, we don't have a D, there we go. One of the 10s has now turned into an 11. So, if we wanted to go through and cross them out, and if you need to pause to make sure you're caught up, please make sure you do that. At this point, we can see, oh, it's halfway between 11 and 11, which is 11. All right, so median would be 11. Mode would also be 11 if one got a raise from 10 to 11. All right, find the mode and median prices of the baseball caps sold in the last week. Pause it and give it a try. Go ahead and do it. Come on, pause and give it a try. I'm just going to give answers this time. If you're not sure, you need to just go back and take a look at everything we've looked at so far. So answers coming right up. Pause it if you don't have it. Pause, come on, pause it. Yeah, you got it. Okay, good. Mode is the one with the most, using my frequency table. Mode is 10. And if we look at this here, we've got 5 plus 5, that's 10 people at either 7 or 9. No, I guess these are not people, these are baseball caps. And another 6 plus 4, so another 10 at either 10 or 12. And so the middle is going to be right in the middle between 9 and 10. So the median price of baseball caps sold in the last week is going to be $9.50. And once again, the mode is going to be 10. All right. And at this point, your assignment, which on your sheet is not going to be halfway through a page by itself, is given right here. So good luck with that, and have a great day. Thanks.